All right, let's talk about the real psychology of mental strength. And right off the bat, I want you to forget everything you've ever heard about just toughing it out, because today we are completely redefining what it actually means to be mentally strong.
So let me just ask you this. What if mental strength has nothing to do with being tough in the way we always think about it? What if that whole idea is just wrong?
You know, we're always told it's about gritting your teeth, just pushing through the pain. But let's be real for a second. That's just a one-way ticket to burnout. That's not resilience. True mental strength is something totally different.
And it's definitely not about building some huge wall around your feelings, pretending you're invincible. That's not strength. That's just suppression. It's hiding.
And oh my gosh, it is absolutely not the version we see all over social media, right? The whole no days off hustle culture that honestly just grinds people down instead of building them up.
So, what is it then? What is mental strength? For real? Well, it's actually way more down to earth than you think. It's about controlling that little voice in your head. You know the one that wants to flip the table and quit everything when your Wi-Fi buffers for like 3 seconds. Yeah, that voice. We're gonna learn how to master. Okay, so our first principle is a complete game changer. Control, don't suppress. This is all about getting one thing straight. Your emotions, they're not the enemy.
So take a look at this. On the left, that's what most of us do by default. Emotional suppression. We ignore our feelings, we run from them, and eventually, we just quit. But look at the right side. That's emotional control. That's what mentally strong people do. They don't run, they interrogate. They ask, hey, what are you trying to tell me? And then they use that answer as fuel.
Let's look at someone who is a master of this, Michael Jordan. Over his entire career, he missed over 9,000 shots. Can you even imagine the frustration, the constant feeling of failure? He didn't just ignore that. And get this, 26 times, his team put the entire game in his hands for that final winning shot, and he missed. Imagine the pressure. If he had just suppressed that feeling, he would have crumbled, but he didn't. He used it. He let it teach him. He let it drive him. And in the end, that's what made him a legend.
So here's your action step. The very next time you feel that knot in your stomach, that fear, that anxiety, don't shove it down. Just stop. Get curious. Ask it, what are you trying to teach me? Treat that feeling like a messenger, not a monster.
All right, let's move on to our second principle, which builds right on top of that. It's systems over motivation. This is where we learn that real discipline, it's a system you build, not a mood you hope for.
I absolutely love this quote. Motivation is cute. It shows up like a flaky friend. I mean, how true is that? We've all got that friend, right? You can't rely on them. You can't build your life on the whims of motivation.
Think about someone like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Do you honestly believe he springs out of bed at 4 a.m. every single day just bursting with motivation? No way. He's human. The difference is his day doesn't run on motivation. It runs on a system. He doesn't wake up motivated. He wakes up scheduled.
So here's a super simple system you can build for yourself. We'll call it the non-negotiable 3. Step 1, pick 3 small daily actions that are critical for your goals. Step 2, they happen every day. It doesn't matter if you feel like a warrior or a total potato. And step 3, this is the most important part. No drama, no debate. You just do them. It takes the decision-making and the excuses right out of the equation.
Which brings us perfectly to our third principle, the growth catalyst. And the main idea here is pretty blunt. Your comfort zone is the silent assassin of your potential.
Look, here's a hard truth. Growth and comfort, they just can't exist in the same place. And mentally strong people, they get this. They don't just put up with discomfort. They actively go looking for it, in small, controlled ways. We're talking about stuff like taking that cold shower, having that tough conversation you've been avoiding, pushing through one more rep, or launching that project before you feel 100% ready. That is where growth lives.
And this right here is where almost everybody gets it backward. We think we need to feel confident first, and then we'll do the hard thing. But that's not how it works, not at all. Confidence isn't something you need to start, it's the reward you get for finishing. So the action step here is simple, but man, is it powerful. Every single day, I want you to do one thing on purpose that makes you uncomfortable. Make the call, send the email, train your brain to see discomfort and think growth, not fear. And now, the final principle. This is the one that pulls everything together. It's the core truth that really separates the people who make massive changes from those who just stay stuck.
And it's this: your identity is your ceiling.
Just let that sink in for a second. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. What you subconsciously believe about yourself will always win. If deep down you believe you're the type of person who's bad with money, you'll always find a way to get rid of it. It's like this invisible script running your entire life.
This slide just illustrates it perfectly. The person on the left says, "I'm trying to work out." That's about effort. It's a struggle. But the person on the right, they say, "I'm the type of person who doesn't miss workouts." You hear that? That's a statement of being. It's a tiny change in your language, but it has a massive impact. Real mental strength isn't about trying harder. It's about becoming someone different.
So this is it. This is the most important action step of this entire explainer. Sometime today, get out a piece of paper and write this sentence. I am the type of person who, and then you fill in the blank with who you want to become. Say it out loud, repeat it until your brain just accepts it as fact. Because once your identity shifts, your actions just follow.
So as we start to wrap this up, I want to be really clear. What we talked about today, this isn't just a list of self-improvement hacks. This is a blueprint for identity evolution. It is about fundamentally changing how you see yourself from the inside out. And all of that, it starts right now. So I'm going to leave you with this question. And don't just think about it. I want you to decide. What is the one discomfort you are choosing to lean into today? Your answer isn't just an answer. It's your first step.